It is February 28th, 2020. We're here at the front of the property at 299 Garfield Avenue in El Cajon, California, 92020. We're going to inspect the main sewer lines here. And the front of the house, we found two cleanouts here. Right here we've got one, and this is right on the edge of the grass transition, about 8 feet away from the city sidewalk. So this would be what we'd probably consider the property line cleanout. So we're going to start here. This vertical pipe goes down. We have a transition right here to the horizontal pipe. This is all plastic ABS here. We have a little turn down, and it looks like we have our transition. You can see there's a little bit of standing water at this transition. It should be the clay pipe. A little bit of a lip on the clay with the alignment, so that's why it's holding water, and the camera itself we're having to jump over. There we go. Finally jumped over that. Now we're in the clay pipe. See a couple little miniature tiny roots right there at the very bottom of the clay pipe. It's pretty typical with clay pipe. We expect to find roots intruding them often. We do have some large trees on this property and in the whole neighborhood. So very, very tiny roots there, but they probably will grow in on a consistent basis possibly. Right now there's nothing that needs to be done with those that are there. We do recommend a foaming chemical treatment that the homeowner themselves can purchase called Robic Foaming Root Killer. It's available at Lowe's and Home Depot as well as online sites. Looks like we might have a couple miniature little roots there on the top upper right of the screen at that hub as well. But again, right now they don't need anything there. But this foaming chemical treatment, you can do it every 9 to 10 months. It's only about $20 a bottle. One bottle treats 25 feet of pipe. So you can see there's a couple little miniature tiny roots right there on the far right side of the line. But again, doesn't need any cleaning right now. If you do that chemical treatment, it kills the roots, not just in the pipe, but back from those hubs. It'll soak it up at those little miniature roots and kill them a few feet back from within the pipe. It slows down their growth to get back inside the line. That hub looks clean. That hub looks clean. That hub looks clean. Looks like we've got a little turn and our drop right here into the large city. So here you go, you can see we're out only 37.5 feet or so to the end of this lateral from the property line clean out here. And so basically the clay pipe is in good condition. We just have those very, very small root intrusions, which is normal with clay. And so we recommend that foaming chemical treatment be done. And you would start it now as soon as you were to purchase the property if that happens. So we're going to pull back here one more time just to check our 25-foot mark to see if more than one bottle would be needed. So there's our hub. That one's clean and clear. We're getting back to less than 20 feet now. So there's our last little intrusion right there. See those very, very small tiny ones at about just under 19 feet. So one bottle is all that's really needed. You could mix two bottles together in one bucket to be extra cautious to make sure that it really travels down the pipe as well. And again, recommend doing this every 9 to 10 months. So it's an inexpensive way to help maintain those little tiny ones from ever getting bigger and growing in the system to the point that you'd either have to have them snaked, hydrojetted, or chain knockered out. If they were to lead to a stoppage if they got really big. So there's that little tiny ones right there. And then we're coming back out. So that little lip is same thing, not a real big deal. It's just a little transition from the clay. Not perfect, but it's not going to cause any issues. It's on the vertical transition. This is going down at about a 45-degree angle. So we're now coming back up and out of this. Wipe off our camera lens here. Here we go. So there's that clean out. We're now going to pause and move to the other clean out at the front of the house. Okay, so we moved away over from that clean out there. We're now over here at the front of the house. And right here we found one single clean out, and this actually sweeps back into the house. So normally you would put in double sweeps, but we dug up around here, we didn't see one, so unless it's just slightly buried, we're going to put our camera down here. So this clean out here lets you only go back into the house. So essentially from this clean out back across all this bark area is about a 15-foot run or so approximately, maybe a little more to the other clean out. There's no way to access this line if there was a stoppage. Now we assume it's all brand new plastic ABS, but we may have to go up on the roof vent to verify that that's been changed out. So we're going to go down this clean out. Again, this sweeps back into the house. We'll see if maybe there's an additional clean out that's just buried that we didn't notice. A little bit of debris on the line got in the front of our camera there, so we're going to go ahead and pause for 1 second to get that cleaned up. Okay, so we've rinsed off our lens, so you can see that if you just slightly back up, this is just right at the beginning of this insertion point, and so there's definitely not another clean out. They only put this one in. I guess they definitely probably replaced the other section with ABS, which again we'll verify, so that maybe they assumed you wouldn't need access, but you never know. So it goes right back into the cast iron right here, you can see. So now we're back into the original cast iron for the house. So this is headed back into the house, going to pass through the foundation to get back into the crawl space. So this is the original 4-inch cast iron. Looks nice and open so far. We're seeing very minimal amount of deposits and scale and buildup in the line. And we do have 2 bathrooms. I believe one was an addition, and it may be on slab or on the edge. So we'll probably again go up on the roof, because at some point across this cast iron as we continue down the line, we should pass a T-junction here. The only way we wouldn't would be is if for some reason that other bathroom was teeing in the front yard somewhere where it was tied in. We have a little T-junction right there for fixtures dumping into the system. Probably our kitchen. Here we have another little T-junction right there, and then some heavy buildup right there on the bottom of the line. That might even be the kitchen where things are dropping and building up onto there. Okay, and then you can see here's a new ABS junction right here that was installed, and then you can actually see that right here at the end we do have this little T-junction off to the left, and then there's a clean out plug in the crawl space. So right there we can see that goes off to the left, so that's probably what picks up the other bathroom. So I'm going to back up here for a second. So this is where the other bathroom is starting to connect in. We're going to leave our camera right here at this other spot right before this T-junction, essentially the end or beginning of this portion of the line here. We're going to go ahead and pause, and we're going to move up to the rooftop to see if we can go ahead and inspect the rest of the system. Okay, so we moved up here to the rooftop of the house, and we came over here to, I believe it was the bathroom addition, and we originally didn't see any vent other than this small 1.5-inch vent there, another 1.5-inch there for the ones for the laundry. We took off this vent cap right here, and we found that you can see here it looks like in the old asbestos pipe they pushed up the 2-inch vent for the bathroom, because all toilets require minimum 2-inch vent. So this was is open around this, and they have this pushed all the way down and over. And actually the way it's pushed down because they were trying to create a seal around this piping. Again, this is just the vent pipe here from waterproofing. They have this pushed all the way down. The problem is that when it is pushed all the way down, it's actually hitting the inside cap top of this vent, which then blocks the flow of air. You need air coming in and you need the sewer gases going out. So anyway, this will need to be modified. Either this properly sealed up right here by a contractor, because this is supposed to be left open. You don't put vent caps on sewer and drain lines. So anyway, that needs a slight modification, either to something like this. It can go back over and create a seal around this open edge of this pipe here so no rainwater gets down with a taller cap, or basically sealing around here properly and just leave this open the way it looks right now. So we're going to go down this 2-inch line. Got a 90 there, another 90 there, and so the vent pipes, they can run any way they want as far as the number of twists and turns and angles, as long as it's all going downward. So we're able to access the sewer line, it looks like right here. So into the ABS pipe, a little bit of standing water right there. So obviously all the drain pipes are supposed to have a downhill slope of 1/4 inch of slope for every foot it travels. We'll see if this is just right around the corner of the turn right here. See, this is the T-junction. It picks up the other fixtures for the bathroom as well as then the laundry. So you can see we've got some standing water right here that's not draining out perfectly. Not a huge deal. As long as it doesn't get worse, shouldn't be too much of a problem causing any issues with the system. A lot of turns on the line here because of all the vent piping and everything else we had to go down through. So we may not make it all the way across here. So you can see we're looking down and across part of the system. And so we've only made it across a few feet of the horizontal. Right now we're actually passing down at a little bit of a steep angle. So whichever way the piping was run right here, then go down and across, and it then goes to the crawl space area. So can't get exactly all the way through this main from this point, so what we're going to do is we're going to pause. We're going to move over to the other vents that are on the rooftop here, which one should be for the laundry, and we'll see if we can get through those smaller vents, if that leads to a cleaner transition to this point where we can't get past here. Okay, so we moved over to this other vent on the very edge of the house. Assume this is going to be the laundry vent that was installed. See, we've got a turn on the vent right there, and this is smaller 1.5-inch pipe, so this is going to make it even more complicated to make it through all these 90-degree turns. And yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, that's not going to let the camera pass through. The vent 90s are very tight that we use in plumbing, so again, everything's to code. It just, you cannot get a camera to snake and maneuver through there. We're going to wipe off our lens and go down this one more time. So here's an immediate 90 here. And then we come up to another 90 right here. And then some more turns again. So it's completely code and it's fine, but again, it just makes it impossible for the camera to pass through. But that's no big deal. It's all new piping, so we'll look in the crawl space and verify that it appears okay with the slope. But we do have one other vent over here, which I don't know if it is still part of the bathroom. Might have been an original vent from somewhere else, because it does appear to be metal, this white vent right here. So we're going to pause and shift over to there. Okay, so right next to that 2-inch vent here, just about 3 feet away, we have this vent pipe here. Now this appears to be original galvanized steel. It's not ABS, so this might have been the original laundry vent in the garage that was, I believe, converted. So pull this back out, get those cobwebs all off our lens here. It does look like it's still being used, because we could see a transition here to plastic right before we pulled our camera out. Yeah, there we go. Looks like that's transition right there. going back down and in. Okay, we're now running across, so we were able to access this sewer line, so that's good. We won't need to go into the crawl space to try to verify. So you can see we're now traveling across the line for this laundry as well as the bathroom here. As we go over right here, you can see here's where we're making this turn, right-hand turn, and this is where we should see our other camera. And there you go. There's our other camera lens right in the face of this one as soon as we made that turn. So the plastic piping they put in was done properly. It's got proper slope. We had that one little area, one little turn holding a little bit of water, but the rest of the line is fine. So it's negligible and not a concern. And so this looks good. All we have in the front are some very small roots intruding, which just need to be maintained with the root killer chemical. And other than that, all the other plumbing for the cast iron drain and sewer lines here are in good condition. There'll be small localized stoppage, obviously, with some of the older cast iron with the sinks or shower over time possibly, but the main sewer itself has no issues with the cast iron. And so we're going to move over though to the other bathroom and show that vent system to push out then to the front yard to verify that the whole piping in the front yard is plastic. Okay, so this sewer vent pipe also had a vent cap on it for some reason, possibly because maybe the flashing wasn't sealed well around there, not really sure. So looks like it is maybe a little open, so that's why they put the vent cap on there, I guess, again. So this one was not getting close to blocking the top of the pipe. As you can see, it's got a lot of clearance before the top of the cap, the way it's sat on there. So we're going to go down this 3-inch cast iron original vent right here. This will lead to the beginning of the sewer line off of this bathroom. You're going to see our orange-red push rod right there from the other camera that we left in the line that we just saw from the other side. So basically we're going down the cast iron pipe right now that we've already seen, headed to the front yard. And we just wanted to verify that in between the two cleanouts, since there's no access, that it's all ABS plastic. So if there ever was somehow a blockage there, so you can see here's our sweep right there. There's our first access inside the house. There's no other cleanout access. Let's see. Well, maybe there's one right there. There we go. We couldn't see it coming the other way because as soon as you put the camera in the line, we're already passing that. But it actually does appear that right there might be another sweep on the line. So we dug some of the bark away, but we didn't see this one. But it does appear that that is a clean-out sweep right there. So we'll have to double-check the front yard. But either way, we'll go now and continue across. This should all be ABS plastic from two clean-outs they put in. Everything in between they must have dug up here. So as you can see, it's all black ABS plastic. We've got no standing water, so the slope was done properly. No debris in the line, and here's our property line clean out right there. So this is the clean out that's at the end of the bark almost before you get to the grass, and then this is that vertical sweep going then down across, and here's that little bit of water that was pooled up right at where it junctions back into the clay pipe you can see at the top of the screen. So the line is all plastic across the front yard there, that area, and so it's all in good condition. We'll now go ahead and just move down to ground level and verify if that other cap is close to the surface here. In fact, let's back up here really fast before we go all the way down again. It does appear that there's an opening, so pull back across here quickly. There we go. So right there on the top of the screen, that does look like another clean-out opening to the pipe right there. So it's right after this other one. Just wasn't visible when we moved even some of the bark away. So we'll pause and move down to ground level. Okay, so we just have our other camera here. This is again the clean out by the front of the house here, and So we moved all this little bit of dirt away and rest of the bark to the left and right in case they angled it up, and we're just not seeing that other clean out. So it does look like the other T-junction was put right after that, but then the pipe would need to be coming up right here on the vertical. So I guess they put it down there, but then didn't bother bringing it up to surface. So again, it's not a big deal because the line's all plastic. It would just be the way to access from here to the next. But the important ones are really this one anyway, which leads back into the original cast iron. And then the most important one is the one headed over to the front of the house to lead to the clay pipe, so those roots can be maintained over time. So everything else is good on the system for the inspection, so that concludes this recording.